NIFES, and then let NIFES be in the university, and let SU be in the primary school and the pilgrims group levels. That's when the father was in SCM. Okay, so we had the NIFES, we had SCM. But we related very, very much, did things in common. We carried his father's books and marketed them. He carried our own books and went and helped lay foundation for their church in Ibadan. He was to take me to somewhere else, another place. He bought bigger land, and I couldn't go there because I had to return to the east. There was that love. The name wasn't a problem to us, of the fellowship that you go to. You know, we were just brothers. We were just sisters. And if anything happens to any of us, it happens to all of us. It doesn't matter your church or denomination. We will all go for it, go for that brother, that sister to help, in the situation. So there was more unity, more cohesion among all of us at that time than we have now. Now, the pastors, like politicians, have departmentalized us in a way that we are more conscious of the group we belong to than of God and of one another. Yeah.
Celebrate, Joe. At any point, Mommy, if you want to add what?
I wanted to add something to this particular question you asked.
Yes, sir.
I think part of our challenge too is that so much is going on among the ministers of the gospel that is not helping our young people.
Yes.
There's so much pollution, so much corruption. It's not as if those things were not there before, but I think it's worse now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
The falsehood and the compromises, the pollution. And so, when the problem is there at the top, it flows all the way down. When the pastor is not, his life is nothing to write home about, in terms of being really genuine and relating properly with God. So whatever he has in his own heart is what he pours out to the people. So a lot of our young people half-baked and, corrupt. A lot of, the things we have passed on to them has not helped the body. So I think that is also part of the very major problem we're having right now. So you can't give what you don't have. So when they up there don't have the right thing, and so don't pass on the right thing, so we too, the young people, we don't receive the right thing, so it affects everything about Christianity. Yeah.
I also think that's the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. That was not there then. Some of my mates have jets. And so I preach to raise money so I can have jet also. I see you drive a big car. Then I have to preach in a way that I will raise money and buy a better car. So there's so much competition. There's so much materialism, and we're not praying and crying for more of God. Like Evan Roberts, when he had in this country a revival, he was 27 years old, and he will lock himself in for days, crying, refusing food. He wanted to see God. And when God showed up, people, I saw them in Korea, they said they all came to Wales. The whole world came to Wales. And there was revival. There was no lawlessness anymore. Because the police didn't have a job to do. They said all the pubs were closed, all the harlots became born again. And that was one boy, 27 years old boy, who was passionate for God and for God and for God alone. I'm not sure he had a jet. I'm not sure he had a big car. So the emphasis is not hunger for God. It's not to see souls saved. It's not to see the manifestation of the power of God. The emphasis is on what I have, the number of cars I have, the land I have. And those things, are not spiritual. And because of those emphases, our hearts are not right. You don't have integrity in many today because they have to find a way to make the money. They have to find a way to get the crowd because we use the crowd to brag. I have 5,000 seats at church. So how many of them are going to heaven? I remember in an aeroplane, I was flying from Houston I was flying from Florida to Houston, and I sat down with a girl by my side, and I began to talk with her, to witness to her. Where are you coming from? She's coming from her concubine's place. She called it boyfriend, and she was smelling alcohol. That's why I started witnessing to her, because I felt she must not be a Christian, doesn't go to church. And so I said, okay, have you heard about the name Jesus? She said to me that she attends the largest church in the United States of America. I said, what is it? She told me the city that the church worships in stadium. Okay, you are drunk, you're smelling alcohol, you're coming from your concubine's place, you slept there for 2-3 days, and then you belong to the largest church that meets in stadium. I said to her, it doesn't add up. You need to be born again. So we have crowds that are going to hell, and their pastors don't care because of the offering and whatever those crowds bring as income. And I remember one pastor that came from Aba to Port Harcourt to preach. And he preached